Good evening to all of you. Let's discuss the remaining current affairs of the previous 6 months given in the pratiyogita darpan. And the very first one is the through the broken glass. Through the broken glass. If you have gone through with pratiyogita darpan seriously, you may be remembering something what actually this through the broken glass is. This through the broken glass, I am telling you, it is an autobiography. Based on whom? A very famous personality. And this personality has also been the classmate of Metro Man of India, E. Sridharan. So who is this personality whose autobiography has been written recently as Through the Broken Glass? This personality is also known for an statement that is called that he eats netas during his breakfast. ये नाश्ते में नेता खाते थे. I think now you should recognize who this person. Yes, TN Session. So TN Session, this autobiography belongs to TN Session, a person who completely changed the Election Commission of India. During his time, there was a proverb that Indian politicians are afraid with two things. The one is God and the other one is the TN Session. This TN Session in a book is mentioned that he is the only person in Indian democracy who was transferred 6 times in less than 8 hours. 6 times in less than 8 hours. I mean, Ashok Khemka is known for these kinds of transfers, but not in such a frequent manner. Lalu Prasad Yadav, one of the strongest chief minister of Bihar, because that time booth capturing was very much prevalent, and TN Session used helicopter to surveillance the whole election machinery in Bihar. And due to this thing, Lalu Prasad once told that to this TN Session that I will place you on the back of the buffalo, and what will happen to the buffalo? It will go into the Ganga. So you will be drowned by the buffalo into the river Ganga. So all these things, by the way, are not important. The important thing is that Through the Broken Glass is the autobiography of this TN Session, a man who brought the Election Commission of India into a complete different paradigm shift. As I have discussed about this Election Commission of India, so the second issue is related to AWABE. AWABE, Association of World Election Bodies. Association of World Election Bodies. This institute was founded in 2013. Where? In Seoul. And Seoul is the capital of? Yes, South Korea. So in 2013, this institute was founded. And what is the objective of this institute and why it came basically in the light? Because the 11th meeting of this institute recently took in a place called Cartagena. And Cartagena is located inside Colombia. There is also a Cartagena protocol when we go through the Sankar IES, very famous book of the environment among the UPSC aspirants. So this AWAVE, you can say the meeting of this AWAVE Association of World Election Bodies took place in Cartagena, a place inside Colombia. That's why it came in the light. And this institute was founded in 2013. The objective of this institute is basically what happens that more than 100 countries participated, or you can say, for instance, from the side of India, who is the Chief Election Commissioner, Rajiv Kumar, he represented India in this Cartagena, or where this 11th meeting happened. So Rajiv Kumar was not the only man from on behalf of India. Rajiv Kumar went there, but so many people came, and the objective of this meeting was to discuss the things through which we can improve the whole election process, the whole election machinery, and how can we make the election process much more transparent, much more acceptable to the people, so that the percentage of voting could be increased, and everything which is related to the betterment of the election machinery with respect to every country. How these things could be done were discussed in this meeting which happened in Cartagena of this Association of World Election Bodies. As you know, in any democratic country, elections are the biggest festivals. And the survival of democracy without transparent election can never be imagined. So, in that context, this A wave cannot be ignored. Now, let's discuss one more issue, and this is related to the, again it is related to a book, and this time the book is Western Lane. Western Lane. Look, there are, I think, more than 300 or 400 books. I cannot discuss all of them, but the books, those are important enough. I will certainly try to discuss those books. So, Western Lane is a book written by Chetna Maru. Chetna Maru. And why this Western Lane is important? Because this was one of the books which was selected for the Booker Prize 2023. Finally, it couldn't win the award, but the nomination or the selection happens, and finally the winner is announced. So this Western Lane, by the way, which book won this Booker Prize? Prophet Song, written by Paul Lynch. So that is no doubt the most important fact. But Western Lane, as it also qualified to be the part of this Booker Prize, but somehow couldn't won this prize. So Western Lane, written by Chetna Maru. What is given within this Western Lane, I am not going to discuss. You may have heard a scheme called Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana. What is this scheme? And why I am discussing this scheme? Because this scheme was launched in 2020 when the first nationwide lockdown was executed. And that time the situation of the people became worst, as they were not allowed to go outside. So the people who were rich, they survived somehow. They can order, in Swiggy and Zomato. By the way, these things were also closed that time, but the grocery items, the Flipkart and all these things were there. But what will happen to a poor person? So make their life easier during this COVID session in 2020, this scheme was announced. But again, it has come in the limelight because this scheme was supposed to be seized in 2023. But again, it has been initiated from the 1st of January 2024 for how many years? For 5 years. So till 31st of December 2029, 80 crore people, or rather 81 crore people of our country will be getting the 5 kg either rice or wheat free of cost. But the eligibility is that these people must be having the ration card. So it is not for the people like, who born with a silver spoon into their mouth. This scheme is for the rock bottom of the society, who are living in the rock bottom of the society, downtrodden, the poor one. So through this scheme, the 5 kg either wheat or rice will be provided. And this is, there is no any scheme in the world which covers such a large amount of people, let me tell you. By the way, India is already has defeated to China in terms of population. So there should not be any proud while saying this is the largest scheme. Because what do you mean by largest? When you see the other half of the picture, what does it mean? It does mean that more than 80 crore people are living below poverty line in India. And what the government of the day was doing for last 10 years, if still they are requiring to fulfill the stomach of such a heavy proportion of the population. The good thing was then when we had made them eligible or able enough so that they don't require this kind of assistance. We could have provided the employment opportunity, we could have developed the skill within them, and everything which enabled them to not come forward with this kind of situation. So there should not be any proud while saying more than 80 crore people are getting benefited, because the opposite sense of this thing is that more than 80 crore people are still living in such a difficult situation. Gujarat is the state. In fact, this state became the role model. The whole country was being laminated under this model of Gujarat. You should also know that more than 50% population of Gujarat itself is covered under this Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana. So it is up to you how you are understanding this Garib Kalyan Yojana. In interview you cannot say like this, otherwise you know what will happen to you. But if you have watched the movie 12th Fail, then I don't know what are you going to say. So this is Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana. One more thing is related to this scheme, that this scheme scheme will not affect the ongoing scheme that is called National Food Security Act 2013. National Food Security Act 2013, because through this act you are also entitled, I mean the people who are living in a not very economically super poor position, they can get through this act the food grains. For instance, the rice 3 rupees per kg, and wheat 2 rupees per kg, and the millet in 1 rupees per kg. So you will be getting, this thing will not be affected by this. In addition to this, you will get this one also. So it will be existing, and plus this 5 kg extra per person, not per family, per person will be benefited. All right, but I think soon India is running in the direction to be the Vishwaguru. So I think in the near future we will not need these kinds of schemes, and in fact we will start providing these kinds of schemes to the rest of the world. Now, another issue is a project Udbhav. 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 What do you mean by the word Udbhav? Udbhav means the genesis of something. Okay, the birth of something like this. So what is this project Udbhav? This project Udbhav has been initiated by the Ministry of Defense in collaboration with the USI. Ministry of Defense in collaboration with USI. USI is a think tank, rather a defense a think tank based in Delhi. So these two institutions have come together and launched this project Udbhav. Now what is this project Udbhav? So as it is related to the defense ministry, so it should be under the shadow of this defense only. So look, actually wars are not the new tendency. It is not the development of the modern era. Ever since civilization started or took place, the wars kept on existing. The wars were happening during the Indus Valley civilization and even before that. But before that, the wars were not happening in such a large scale the way this First World War and Second World War happened. You know, the Dasragya war which happens on the bank of the Parusuni River. Chandragupta Maurya fought so many battles. Gupta fought so many battles, wars. Harshvardhana. And almost every dynasty fought the battle one way or the other. So what I want to say, that these things cannot be separated from the human being. If you can generate the love, then you can also generate the animosity. Because these are the flip sides of the coin. If you can be happy, then it does mean you can also be angry once upon a time or once in a while. There is a movie in which Ravina Tandon was challenged by her friend that you cannot make angry this person. I am forgetting the name of that person. The actor in that movie is the actor who is in the movie called Anadi belongs to South India. But Ravina Tandon gets a success and she makes very angry to that person. So these wars have always been existing ever since the civilization or things came. So through this project Udbha, what will be done that look the Chandragupta fought the war at that time who was you can say the main mind behind Chandragupta Maurya? Chanakya. He wrote the Arthashastra. In Arthashastra, he wrote some of the things. Look, Arthashastra, it does not mean how to be a billionaire or how to make the money. In Arthashastra is written how to govern the system properly. What kind of things are needed to govern the empire properly. So in this Arthashastra, some of the techniques are written how to defeat your enemy and what kind of tricks and techniques you are supposed to use if you want to defeat your enemy. So within Arthashastra, and I think because of the Chanakya, Chandragupta Maurya became the king. You know his childhood story. You know he was sitting on a rock and everything. In the same way, in South India, that is called Tirukural. So within this classical Tamil literature, the techniques of the war are given. And in other scriptures also, in other sources also. So through this project Udbhav, the ancient knowledge of the warfare which is given within Arthashastra, which is given within this classical Tamil literature, which is given within anything. Because India is a very rich in terms of its cultural deposition. So all, I think when we study what was the name of that comes before the Ajat Shatru, he used a technique called Rath Musal or something like this. So through this project Udbhav, what will be done that the ancient techniques of the warfare will be evaluated, and these ancient war techniques, after evaluating, will be placed with the modern techniques, because ultimately we want to win the battle. So till now these ancient techniques, this Napoleon Bonaparte, you should note that the techniques or how he won the battle, these things are being taught in some of the schools or in the universities in the world. So but Napoleon's knowledge in Indian scripture is not given. But what is given in Indian written articles, those things will be extracted and will be placed along with the modern techniques of the warfare. So if I could say in one line that the ancient knowledge of the warfare will be extracted through this project Udbhav, and that knowledge will be placed with the modern knowledge. So you can say, the double dose of the vaccine. And after that, you can say we will be executing that knowledge in the war which happens if any situation comes like this. So this is the objective of the project Udbhav, which has been launched. But one more thing you should know, that all the things which are given in the ancient knowledge are not very much consistent to the present time. Because what Chanakya was saying, oh, that you go in the night and burn the whole village, and in the morning go and distribute the blankets, and by doing this you can earn their sympathy, because they are not aware that the our homes were burned by you only. So having Geneva Convention on the backdrop and all the ethical principles on the backdrop, if anything which is given in the ancient knowledge is not consistent, we will not be accepting. But the things or the knowledge, warfare knowledge, which is consistent with the Geneva Convention, with the modern ethical principles, certainly those things will be extracted and will be placed with the modern techniques of the fighting the battle. I think I have elaborated more than the requirement, but my objective was to make you understand what actually this project Udbhav is. So these were some of the things. The last thing is related to the Major Dhyan Chand Award. Major Dhyan Chand Award. Any idea this award has been given to whom? Or if you don't remember the people, could you tell me the award has been given in context to which game, or the players belong to which game? Badminton. Yes. Satvik Reddy. Yes, Satvik Reddy or Satvik Riza, and the second is Chirag Shetty. Chirag Shetty. These two, this time it has been provided jointly. Satvik Riza and this Chirag Shetty, the players of badminton. The Major Dhyan Chand Award is the highest honor in the sporting event in India. And the players who are awarded with this Major Dhyan Chand, don't think they have done extraordinary on a particular year and they will be provided. No, yes, consistently performance of the 4 years of the players is evaluated, and on the basis of that consistent 4 years performance, this Major Dhyan Chand Award is provided. So you can say it is not a very easy one, because developing the consistency in life is a very challenging thing. But somehow these two people, Satvik and Chirag Shetty, they imprinted their names and they will be remembered by the coming generations for this Major Dhyan Chand Award. So this was some of the important issues of the previous 6 months. I will be discussing the remaining one in my coming lectures as
Arjun Puraskar.
Yes,
Arjun Puraskar.
Arjun Puraskar.
बता दीजिए उसी में.
No, I will discuss in my next lecture, because the number of recipients are a little more. All right, so remaining things we will be discussing, as I always tell that current affair is the thing which will either make us or break us. Namaskar.